a while with Jaleel over there. What was the subject?
I mean, we just talk very freely. We have since I've coached him. I get an incredible soft spot for him, and I have an incredible amount of respect of how he handles this situation. So you're just always communicating with him. You're telling him, you know, your thoughts and trying to help him. At the end of the day, help Jaleel. And it's one of many conversations that you saw. It happens often, and trying to make sure that he gets steered in the right direction.
How do you think he's handling it?
Like you see, it's amazing. It's just staying in shape. And it's really the only message that I have with Jaleel. It's like when you look at what you can control and you can't, what's the single thing that makes you happy? When do you feel like I'm going to be okay? And his answer was what I'd hoped. When I'm working out, John Bryant spends a lot of time with his cardio and his post work and keeping him in shape, where he knows he hasn't cheated a day. Because at any moment, somebody could say, you've been traded to this team, and you get on a plane and you go play 25 minutes. And, you know, there's an appropriate fear that you need to have. We've all gone into exams where maybe you didn't study as hard as you want, and that's an uncomfortable walk into the classroom. Well, we're trying to avoid that and give him everything that we have to keep his fitness up. To me, that equals his spirits up, that he feels like I am prepared. And that's the message, and that's the reality. That's what I feel most truthful telling him. And we together are delivering that.
You used that appropriate fear term a few times. You know, I know where you got that term.
That's right.
Do you like, does he have it trademarked or what?
He should.
Yeah?
Yeah, he should. It's so true. And it's ingrained in me. You know, when you go through 12 years with Pop,
Yep.
that appropriate fear thing is so, to me, clear of what that really means. I'm sure there's a little bit of a military connotation with it, but it sure carries over into sport. And in my world as a head coach, it comes out of my mouth freely.
How did Joel look out there today back with the team?
I mean, it's just a shoot around, but it's just like his presence, his spirit. The focal point of what we do offensively and defensively changes. You know, and so like it's all over the place. The ripple effects with Joel are felt from a structural standpoint, from a personality standpoint, from just a presence standpoint, his physical presence. It's just good to have him back with his teammates and with us.
Coach, you've been getting off to good starts. What does it say about the character of this team that you've been doing that, I mean, pretty regularly for the last 6-7 games at least?
I think that we are doing we're doing a lot in relation to tightening up very clear areas. We feel that the buckets that we live in and are managed by different people on my staff are clean and highly accountable. And so the mystery of roles and where should I screen and what's the purpose and are we switching or are we hedging, like minimizing those my bads. If you can sort of get a reduction of my bads and there is more accountability and more execution, then it allows you to do a bunch of things offensively and defensively. And I think some of those things make up for the reason that we're starting well. I feel like we're focused on what our purpose is.
Hey, Brett, can you also talk about, I mean, I guess that could kind of follow up that question, but, you know, you guys are first in efficiency coming out of timeouts, and the past couple of years you had a young team, and they were making a lot of mistakes coming out of timeouts. Can you just, you know, talk about that?
I mean, when you come out of a timeout and you draw something, you hope that everybody's locked in. You hope that you put people where they have a chance to succeed. And we're still young. I mean, for these guys to be best in the NBA is a little bit to Zoo's question of like locking in. What are we doing? You know, I think we're third on side out of bounds. I think we're fourth after free throws. And so in those like static moments that I refer to as special teams, it's like the NFL. You know, you have a static moment, which isn't a sport, but underneath out of bounds, side out of bounds after a free throw, timeout. Those environments, you know, we can control a little bit. And so I'm proud of our guys. They've executed well, and to lead the league in efficiency in that area, I'm proud of our guys.
Go ahead, talk about Cove a little bit. I mean, you know, Rob, he's starting, you know, has 35 three-pointers. I mean, when you come down to like a recognizable player on the team, he might be the 10th guy on the team, nationally known.
Right.
But he's very vital to this squad. Can you just talk about that?
He just goes both ways. The elusive, ever important two-way player, where he really is a multi-purpose defensive player. He can switch out on point guards. He can guard a four-man. In a pinch, he's strong enough to like put a knee and an armbar behind a five-man's back. But he's just so versatile defensively, guarding freely 1 through 4s. Offensively, to take Joel's talents and put him at a block where he commands a double team often, to take Ben Simmons' skill of navigating a pick and roll where teams better crowd the paint or he's turning corners and getting to the rim, it all equals space. And it all equals, can you make a three? And he can. We are third right now in the NBA in making threes at a very efficient rate, a pace. He's, amongst the best we have, with JJ, a close second, or maybe ahead of him, but those two guys have been efficient. That's the success that Dario's experienced lately that equals us winning. And so Robert Covington, both sides of the ball is vital.
How are you guys deciding when to use Korkmaz here, down in Delaware, and just how important for a guy at his stage are just live game reps?
I lived it with Corey Joseph. You've heard me tell this story. Corey played 35 games in the D League at that stage, the G League now, and then was playing in the NBA championship. He was getting minutes in the championship, but that base is important, and I think the people that know how to maturely deal with it, where it's not a demise, I'm going to the D League, I'm going to go down there and get 20 shots a game, playing free, having fun, playing. That environment, we run the same system. It's our program. We use it well. He can transfer back and forth and not have to learn new plays. Our system is our system is our system. And I think that experience is great for him. The frequency of which that happens, it's sort of fluid. We're just sort of judging it. But when we have a chance to bring him with us or send him down, we'll manage that responsibly.
Brad, when you consider the situation that you've got two guys that are 23 or younger playing the kind of ball they're playing right now and are special, very clearly are special. Based on what you were just talking about, the idea of the freedom to do certain things, is there kind of a give and take or push and pull with the idea of letting them experience certain things and letting them play a certain way, or do you want them to play in a very tightly controlled sort of way? What helps more for the long run, given that they're going to be here?
I think that there's always a freedom once you create the environment, and you got to hear that. Once you create the template, the environment, our sport is not that rigid. You have to play and react. And I think that Ben and Joel, to your question, you create the environment and they play. And we're still experiencing pain with turnovers or, lack of execution from time to time, but we're getting better. And as long as they know what the template is, what we expect, within that world, they can be creative. We encourage them being creative. Players, I've learned, they teach coaches of different plays. They make up stuff that you just didn't see. And so some of our after timeouts that we've been pretty good at have been born out of the players just reading and reacting. And we give it a name and claim it, and we think it's our play. But there's a freedom.
And to that point, Ben's been way better than I think so many of us expected. Maybe you kind of saw some of this coming. There's still a pretty big gap when Joel's on the court versus when he's not, mostly on the defensive end. What have you been pretty pleased with what you see on the offensive end when he's not in there, Joel? And what do you feel like are the gaps that still need to be filled in?
When Joel's not in the game, am I happy with our offense? I am. We're second in the NBA in assists. We're first in the NBA with passes. The team moves, the team shares the ball. And I think that, with Joel, there's more of a focal point where he gets the ball inside. But without Joel, I think our guys have been excellent on playing together and moving the ball.
Coach, last one, guys. Coach, back to Joel Embiid, his prowess on social media.
Say that one more time.
Back to Joel, his prowess on social media has been well documented. How do you kind of manage that as a coach, just seeing what he does on Twitter?
I don't even pay attention. I really I try to, and I tell my coaches and I tell my media relations man, keep me on a need-to-know basis.
All right.
If there's really something there I need to know, then tell me. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to go look at some film and have a sandwich. He's got a personality. He's unfiltered. There is a maverick in him, and it's what makes him also special on the court. We talk all the time about, you know, legacies and how do you want to be remembered, and the balance of, you know, crossing a line from time to time, and I feel like that's part of my role too. But by and large, I think he's great. At times, I actually step back and think he's quite funny as well. I'll smile while I'm eating that sandwich, and you know, good luck to him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.